Good morning, sports fans from all around the globe. I am your host, Jeff Dawson, East Coast Sports Investors, and this is your breakfast bankroll for Tuesday, almost said Monday, May 31st, 2022, the last official day of May as June's been knocking in. It is coming in through the front door tomorrow, but we have one day before then. A schedule filled with MLB and the start of the Western Conference Finals. Edmonton versus Colorado. Edmonton currently minus 168 tonight. You can grab Colorado minus 168. And grab the Oilers at plus 153. About 2-1 favorites to win this series. McDavid versus McKinnon. It's going to be a great series. Last night, I've been talking about it for the last week. There's only one man on the planet that could stop the Hurricanes and potentially stop the Lightning from getting to their third Stanley Cup, and that was Mr. Shesterkin. And he basically, in a nutshell, stonewalls the Hurricanes, and the Rangers advance to face the Lightning with home ice advantage, yet the Lightning are minus 180 to advance there. Hats off to all the Ranger fans as they get to the Eastern Conference Finals there. Noted, in the summer especially, the internet has a mind of its own, and that's the hardest part of doing live shows with tornado warnings, with thunderstorm warnings, lightning, heat. It is amazing. It's real tough how it comes and it goes. So a little issue in the Windy City, and our buddy Riley, we lost him in our pregame talk, and then was going to step on in using the smartphone. I mean, he's smarter than me because I would have waved the white flag. And guess what? The internet has come back. So if we are talking and he leaves the building, it isn't done on purpose. So without further ado, let's bring him in from the Windy City himself, the one and only Mr. Riley Magnuson. Good morning, sir.
It appears that I am alive and well over here on this side of the screen, my friend. So cross our fingers that this holds up one way or another, or I'll find my way back in. But I was getting a little nervous there on my side of things. Yeah, I told you. They who shall not be named that starts with an X is going to get a nice, strongly worded letter this afternoon. But aside from that, happy start to the week. Hope you had a nice weekend. Let's get on with this sports action thing, huh?
ECSI VIPs started off the week in the green. Could have been a hell of a start to the week, but the Braves falter. We had them full game. First inning, Strider, who throws over 100, relief pitcher. They were trying to stretch him out yesterday. 2 strikeouts versus 2 batters. The dreaded 2-out infield hit, double, 1 bad pitch, 3-0. They are losing to the D-backs, and they make it 3-2. They pull Strider, and then they give up 3 more runs, and it was thanks for playing. But we did eke out Miami Marlins first 5. They won 1-0, and then they go on to lose the game. And then we had Astros minus the full run and a half, full game, and they come running home. So 2-1 on the day to start the week as we get ready here for a full MLB slate, one hockey. We haven't talked since Sunday. Give us your thoughts over the weekend, anything you're seeing, whether it's MLB, Celtics, Golden State, which we'll get to, hockey, or anything that might be piquing your interest.
Yeah, I mean, as far as hockey, obviously I'm not the hockey guy. I was just, from a neutral standpoint and not an expert standpoint, just shocked to see the outcome of last night's game and not even close. Finally, get a road team to win the game. As far as the NBA series, I think that starts on Thursday, if I'm not mistaken. I'm excited for that one. I think that's going to be, obviously, the Warriors are going to be well rested. But I think that's, as contrary to like the Rangers in hockey, they've only got like a normal 1 day off and then they're back in action, I think, if I'm not wrong. Whereas the Celtics obviously get something like 3 days off before they get going. So that's obviously a nice little rest. But the Warriors are going to be well rested. I think it's going to be a good series. We can we'll save I'll save my full thoughts here once we get later in the week. But I'm excited for it. I've got a Golden State ticket that I've had since I honestly don't even remember January, December. So I'm holding out hope for that, seeing if we can get a nice little hedge opportunity here in a second. Obviously, I could if I wanted to, but I'm hoping for a little bit stronger if the Warriors can take game one. But aside from that, I'm excited for the series to start.
I saw some preseason pre-flops, Celtics at 50-1. I know you could have got them even bigger at the start of January. I talked at length our preseason looks, trying to beat the favorites. We had Golden State coming out of the West, and our two sleepers in the East were the Bulls and the Heat, and the Heat come up short, obviously. But being an hour from the Garden, I've been talking about the Celtics since the second week of January, excuse me.
Yeah.
We've been waiting on game one in the Bucks and Heat series where, they were big favorites in both series. They lose and you get them at plus money. They're already plus 140 to start. If you're backing the Celtics, people, I'd wait till after game one. If they lose, they're 3-point underdogs. You'll probably get them at around plus 230. I've talked about exacta tickets, Celtics in 6, Warriors in 7. I've been saying it's like Brady versus Rodgers when it comes to a Super Bowl versus a NBA Finals. Curry plus 100 to win the MVP, and Tatum plus 170, and then the rest are big numbers. So it's going to take a minor miracle. I mean, I'll go back to the Patriots versus the Falcons where they gifted Tom Brady that Super Bowl MVP when James White, if it wasn't for James White they never would have won that Super Bowl.
Right. So I think, I think if you're interested in the Warriors, I think it's especially with the narrative of Steph Curry not having won any NBA Finals MVPs. If you're interested in that, I find it hard to believe that anyone other than he is going to take it. But like I said, with the heat check type of guys that they have, like Jordan Poole, I guess it wouldn't shock me. If Jordan Poole goes absolutely insane for a few games, he's sitting at 36-1 on FanDuel. Maybe that's the one sprinkle you add there, and then. I think the Celtics probably got a little bit more value past Tatum. Obviously, Tatum's the most primed to dominate the series and lead the Celtics to victory. But Al Horford was fantastic. In their wins, at least for the Celtics in this past series. So it's going to be a hell of a series, I think. I saw some people that think it could be a little bit quicker with the rest advantage. But, like I said, 3 days off. The NBA Finals is a lot more spread out than these series have been through the first 3 series in the playoffs. So should be a lot more opportunities for rest. Get some of these guys back healthy. Marcus Smart, get him, not as banged up as he's been at the end of that series there with the Heat. So I'm excited. Should be a good one here coming up on Thursday.
I'm going to circle back before we hit today's menu. You and I have been doing shows on Sundays. I've been trying to teach people, educate people, to anyone that wants to listen. And if you've been listening, you've been cashing.
Yeah.
Sunday golf. Okay. We'll go back 3 weeks. Okay. Mr. Lee comes from downtown to win. 2 Sundays ago, Justin Thomas comes back from 7 to win. This week, Sam Burns comes from downtown to win. Again, I and Riley are talking about take the leader off, take the first pack, and then take your eyes to the second pack. And if you did that, Sam Burns was staring you right in the eye.
I mean, we talk about make sure you train your eyes to look further. I didn't look far enough in Burns' case. I mean, he came out of nowhere more than any of these guys. But yeah, it's I think that trend's going to continue. We've got some very competitive golf tournaments coming up the next few weeks. So, I'm sure we'll be singing the same tune these upcoming Sundays nonetheless.
I'm going to pull up the Sports Insights board for today. Pull up the baseball for everyone to see you. Sports Insights, I think you get a free 3-day trial when you sign up for a week. So take a look at that. Here's the board. Earliest game is at 6:45. No, I'm sorry. At 1:10, we got Kansas City against at Cleveland. Are they playing a doubleheader?
I think I
No,
see
Minnesota.
Minnesota Detroit's at 110 your time with the doubleheader. That's what I see over here.
They throw okay. Minnesota, Detroit. Smeltzer versus Garcia at 110. And that's it there. That's the early one. Full board today. Initial thoughts.
Yeah, as far as that early game, I kind of imagined that's probably going to be a split at some point. So I'm not super interested in that one. The one that I see, I think, is the one of the first few games here. 5:45 my time, 6:45 your time. San Francisco at the Phillies. Junis and Suarez. I haven't made any plays on this one yet. I think last I checked, Phillies are about minus 130 favorites in this one. Suarez, I'm not in love with Suarez, but I believe in him enough to feel that he's pretty damn due. And the Phillies have lost 4 straight games, so if you're buying into some positive regression, whether it's Suarez or just this Phillies team in general, that's where my thoughts would lie on that game. Just to start this Phillies team, though, just when you think they're in those spots where they're due, is when they've kind of hurt a lot of people all season long. Any interest in this one to start things off?
I like Suarez. I think he's been pitching okay. I don't trust, obviously, the Phillies bullpen as usual.
Yeah.
Another comical display yesterday. I like where your eyes are. San Fran bats always find a way. I would lean Phillies first 5. Now, if you don't want to pay the tax, take them minus the hook, and you should get them at plus money in the first 5.
Yeah, looks like it's right around there. At least consensus. I'm sure you could probably catch it at plus money. First 5 is actually up at minus 145, it looks like, and then the minus a half is right around that plus 100 spot. So that's definitely something I would agree with. I'm interested there. Another one, not as interested, just more interested in talking about it. Solid matchup today. Angels and Yankees. Angels 5 straight losses, but they've got Syndergaard on the mound. But Yankees minus 135-ish favorite with Montgomery on the mound. Like I said, not super strong thoughts on this one. Looks like a decent amount of money is on the Yankees in this one. But this Angels offense hasn't been terrible during this losing streak. They put up 10, I think, it looks like a couple days ago. I think they were off yesterday. So any interest in Syndergaard and the Angels, or is this a Yankees evening?
We had Syndergaard in his last start. He mowed him down through 4, got in a little trouble in the 5th, but he got us the first 5. Again, a team where I like to play in the first 5s. I think the actual number is 128 at circa. They're begging for Yankee money, coming off a couple losses to the Rays, coming off a day off. They'll be ready at home. A lefty with Montgomery. I like the right side of the Angels. I would lean Angels first 5 here.
Yeah, I was interested to see a lot of these Syndergaard lines we've talked about, not really being sure what these lines are telling us with Syndergaard on the mound. And obviously, this one's they've been a lot of favorite lines. But I think in today's case, you just got a case of, the old Yankee tax is what I see over here. But White Sox and Blue Jays next one up. Not strong thoughts on this one. Obviously, no Tim Anderson for the White Sox. Luis Robert apparently is traveling with the team. He's been out for the last few days, so I'm interested to see if he's going to be back in the lineup tonight, which would be honestly a huge piece, especially with Tim Anderson out of there. But Giolito versus Gausman should be a good one. This Jays offense, though, it looks like they might be starting to heat up at the right time. So I'm a little nervous that my Sox, who are catching teams, or they're not at the right time. They're catching teams that are basically heating up exactly at the moment where we start to play them. So is this a rough spot for me and my Sox, or Lou Bob coming out of the woodwork and leading the team to victory for us?
Well, looking at the opening number of 166, still 166. I mean, a big tax on Toronto at home. Gausman has been lights out. He has shown a few chinks in the armor. Giolito can dominate at any point. The numbers are telling us that they're expecting the Jays to figure him out or get to that back end. The only play that I could play here would be a Jays minus a half first 5, which again, you're not creating your edge. Your edge would be in the back end, because if Giolito's on, it could be a 1-1, 2-2-0-0 through the first 5 there. But it looks like they're telling us that the Jays should roll. But I can guarantee you this. there'll be a lot of Twitter talk that the White Sox and Giolito are the value play of the day.
Yeah, I think so too. And if Luis Robert comes in the door, and if he's traveling with the team, I don't know if that means he's back today or not. But I'm just looking at the projected lineup. If it's not with him, I'm shedding a few tears over here. So I'll hold out hope and hope that we've got some confidence. Switching over to your team though, the old Red Sox. Interesting pricing I saw there at home versus the Reds, about -135 Red Sox with Luis Castillo versus Michael Wacha. Reds offense hasn't been terrible this last week, actually hitting pretty well. A little concerned over there with this line pricing?
I am, because I've been talking and waiting for some regression with Wacha, with Hill, with Pivetta. Haven't seen it in Pivetta. We saw it yesterday with Hill. Those damn pesky Orioles, I am so glad they have left the building. They just find a way. They scrap, they hit. They're playing with house money. They're not as bad as their record. In comes Cincinnati with Castillo. Fourth or fifth start now since coming back off the IL. Walker, way overdue for some regression. And the line's telling you that. It's opened at 142 overnight. Our friends at Circa, Derek and Mr. Benson, have dropped it down to 132. They're enticing Red Sox money here. I'm staying as far away as I can. You are 100% correct. This Reds team, who started 3-22, let me just see exactly where they are here. Hold on
16 and 31.
16 and 31. All right, so let's do the math. They started 3-22, right?
Yep.
So they're
13 and 9.
13 and 9. Their last 22.
That's a winning baseball team over the last 3 weeks, if my numbers are correct over here. So yeah, I mean, I think Castillo, this will be start number 5, and he hasn't been bad by any means either. So I think you would probably feel good that this is probably the spot where he really finds a nice start and a nice out in this one, probably 2 or less runs. So I'm really interested in the Reds in this one. Another one that was more of a lean, slight interest. I might stay away from this one. Honestly, kind of a toss-up. Padres and Cardinals at the Cardinals Busch Stadium. Blake Snell and Adam Wainwright. I don't know. Are you expecting not the same situation as Castillo? I think this is start number 3 for Snell. I think he's given up about 3 runs each of the first 2 times. Do you like Snell, or you kind of stay far away from him? You fade him? What's your thoughts on Snell?
The problem with this game is the Cardinals lead MLB versus lefties by about 20 points.
Right.
Now, not that Snell can't shut anyone down, and Wainwright's been Wainwright. I have to look at the opening number, which was -126, now went down to 122 overnight. So Circa got a little money on the Padres in the plus side. I would lean St. Louis first 5, but again, I think you're dancing with the devil there. I think that they're going to put up some runs, but it sounds and seems like we're going to get a good outing here from Snell.
That's kind of, I think I'm staying away nonetheless. I do lean, I agree. I lean Cardinals first 5, but at -130 or whatever, right around wherever it is, or even at with the half, it just doesn't feel right to me. So I'm going to stay away from that one because Wainwright's kind of every once in a while he's a bit of a wild card himself. I feel strongly that he'll be solid, but you never know when he is due for a rough, bumpy start here and there. So moving on to the next one, Rays versus Rangers, Yarbrough and Perez. If you haven't noticed, which I knew he'd been pitching well, but I didn't realize it was this solid. Over 5 starts in May, 0.76, a 0.76 ERA for Perez. If you're following along, this isn't a guy that we deem as an ace, so I have to imagine this guy is well overdue for some regression, but at least got to give him his flowers for potential pitcher of the month in the AL. But do you like the Rays in this spot? Yarbrough, typically about 4 or 5 inning type guy, so any interest out of this one?
Well, the shocker was overnight. I take the snapshot, and Texas was -130. Yeah. Think about that. When's the last time a Rangers team was favored over the Rays? Definitely going to be a bullpen game for Tampa. They corrected it at circa to -112. If I was to tiptoe in this and I had to play a side, I'd grab the Rangers first 5. Hope that Martin Perez kept pitching the way he has. But it's an immediate red flag to me when I see the Rangers favored
Yeah.
over the Rays.
Yeah. I mean, that's nuts to me. Yeah, I would like to see. Yeah, I would like to see the last time they've been favored over a winning team, let alone this winning team for fuck's sake over the last 2 years. But yeah, I'll be staying away from that one. And then the last one that I had written down for any thoughts was Houston and Oakland. Another line pricing, a good team versus a bad team, and Houston's on the road, so a little bit different. But another one that's about -135. Javier's been very good. He's typically kind of due for a really bad start every few, and in between he's very good. So I'm not sure if we're due for that or not. Montas has been really, really solid, just has not gotten any luck. I know I don't know what his actual pitching record is, but the A's in his starts have not been very successful at all. But this A's lineup, it's still, anytime I'm even talking about this, I start to get sick, because it's like, are you really interested in taking the A's offense or the A's with their offense in any capacity? But this Houston team, they kind of woke up a little bit yesterday, but before that, obviously, we talked about on Sunday, they kind of been sleepwalking for a few days. So interested a little bit, at least monitoring this one. I think this is the back half of the evening, 8:40 my time, 9:40 your time, so plenty of time to watch this one. But any thoughts on Astros and A's on the West Coast here?
We had Astros full game minus the run and a half plus 102 yesterday. We'll come back again with that. I thought that this was a perfect spot for Houston. Good landing area to get the bats going. Their starting pitching back in line. Struggled early. Got a couple homers. One from Altuve, two from Alvarez. I know Montas is solid, but I like in a 9-inning battle that Houston will score enough runs to cover the run line there.
Yeah, I think so too. And like I said, I really like Javier. It's just like once every 6 times he has a rough outing. But I mean, if you're telling me out of 7 times, 6 of them you're going to be looking pretty solid with the guy that you got on the mound, I'm going to be feeling pretty good on that one. So that was the main ones I had any thoughts on. I know there's a few others. Milwaukee -130 on the north side of Chicago here. Any thoughts on anything along those lines? Is that a Cubs line, or is that just Cubs getting a little love at home there?
Steel, is he going to be steel, or is he going to be the aluminum can? I mean,
Yeah.
tough spot. I think the Brewers, I don't want to say are starting to wake up. They got Hader back. Their back end is filthy. They're offensively challenged at times. I don't know what you're going to get from the Cubs team. I think the eye test initially is telling you, obviously, the Vegas leans the Brewers. I won't pay the tax to find out. Probably the Brewers, the under-over's at a 9.5. The Brewers probably win this game 6-3. I don't think I'll be dancing there, though.
No, I don't think so either. I'm just looking at Steele. He was terrible his last time out, so potentially bounce back. But aside from that, I mean, even when he's been decent, the Cubs are 3-6 outright in full game whenever he takes the mound. So, it has not been pretty for them, and I think the Brewers have taken 3 out of each of the first 3 out of a 4-game set, if I'm not mistaken. I could be totally wrong about that, but nonetheless, that was the bulk of what I had. Any thoughts on anything else here today?
I don't have a starting pitcher yet. Let me look. Seattle at Baltimore. Kirby's been pretty damn good. I have a DraftKings line of Seattle -130. No one else has posted one. Baltimore hasn't put their starting pitcher up. Baltimore just played a 5-game set against the Sox. Now they travel home, little resting on their laurels. I think it's a good spot to grab Seattle here. Probably first 5 with Kirby. I probably won't dabble in the -130, 35, first 5. I'll probably minus the hook it and expect Seattle hopefully to get some runs early, Kirby to be Kirby, and try to steal the first 5 there.
Yeah, that one was just interesting. Yeah, I didn't see any. I didn't write that one down as I didn't. Had the starters ready for that one when I was looking at the notes in that one. But both these teams are interesting. I don't think Seattle is going to go on a huge playoff push, but I think they're going to have some value at some point here, as far as certain parts of their teams showing up on the right day. So I think I think that's a good look there to start. I know there was another one that there was. Maybe not any full list of starting pitchers yet. I think Miami, Colorado was the other one that I still didn't have a full update on yet.
That's correct. Marquez versus a to be determined. Miami is just free falling. We are 2-0 our last two selections with them in the first five, both 1-0 wins. Will not be dancing with the devil there. Atlanta at Arizona. Arizona bats again have woken up. They're my kryptonite. I
Yeah.
grabbed Atlanta yesterday. Of course, down 3-0 early, can't bounce back. Just fold the tent down 6-2. Morton versus Castellanos today. Morton opens up minus 165, now 159. I will not be playing the Braves tonight. I'm supposed to come back with them on the run line. This is not the same ground Chuck Morton that we've seen in the past. I'm just going to stay away.
Yeah, and I mean their offense for me. This Braves offense just at times, and this is probably me jumping at the wrong points maybe, but it's whenever you need. This is another team for me this season so far. I mean they're 23-26, and the Diamondbacks are 24-26. So this Diamondbacks team has been just a tad bit better than the Braves. That Braves offense though, it just when you need them to step up for you, they have left me standing at the altar a lot of times this year. So I've been taking a big step back from the Braves in a lot of spots so far.
In hockey tonight, Edmonton, Colorado, 8 o'clock first game. Opened at 168, now 173 at Circa. If you want Colorado today, obviously you're not going to lay that kind of lumber. You can try to get them in regulation. You can try to do a puck line. What's interesting is that the under-over opened at 6.5, juiced over minus 135. It is 7 at FanDuel right now, under minus 128. Any thoughts in game one, or do you think Edmonton can make a series of this? Can McDavid slay Goliath, or is this going to be a Colorado, 5-6 game run?
Yeah, I don't know. Obviously, I'm not. I always say I'm not the expert by any means, but the buzz that I get is that this Oilers team is finding something out offensively to where they can absolutely make this a series and be a dangerous team. And the Avalanche, over the last 2-3 years, I think I still give the edge to the Avalanche, but they just seem to not. They just seem to be missing that one championship. I'm not saying they can't win this series. Not saying they can't win the championship. They just seem to be lacking that extra gear that really steps on the throat of their opponents, and they barely got through in this last round against St. Louis. So I think it's going to be a pretty damn interesting. My question would be, from a fan perspective, someone who's maybe just trying to sprinkle a little money, do I go over every single game in this one and under in the other series with the goalies in the other one, or is this? Seven goals already sitting here at 12 or 9 hours away from game time, whatever it is. That's absurd.
Well, that's the thought process. Root for goals, bet the overs here, bet the unders on the Rangers and Lightning, and have a day here. If you can get a 6.5 at minus 130 or 135, it's a 35-cent tax. But 3-3, you're a winner. Even a 4-2 empty netter, you're a winner. Smith would have to stand on his head, and he has shown in the Calgary series some huge leaks. This Edmonton team is not afraid to skate with anyone. So this is going to be up and down, like just let it rip hockey. And it's going to be fun to watch. And I think the NHL is smiling from ear to ear. They have potentially a McDavid in the cup versus Tampa going for their third cup, or Avs and Lightning, which would be an amazing cup, or the Rangers in the big market with Shesterkin, who is now just carrying the team on their back, saying, come on, guys, we've taken down everyone so far. We've been dogs. What's Tampa? I mean, let's just grab the plus 160 and let's go.
Right. Yeah, from a marketing perspective, I don't know the last time it's ever been. The NHL's got 4 teams where they want every which way you sprinkle it. It's a marketing dream to some degree. So I'm excited, man. I think both of these series are going to be pretty damn solid. I guess I think the other one's starting tomorrow. Did you have any? Is it going to be all Lightning in that one, or do you think it's going to be a little back and forth in that one too?
I'm seeing Lightning minus 180, Rangers plus 155. I always say this here. If I wasn't invited to the wedding, don't expect me at your funeral. And I was wrong on Lightning versus the Leafs. I was wrong on Lightning versus the Panthers. I'm not jumping on the Lightning right now because the Rangers would end up beating them. I expect that Lightning to win. I mean, common sense would say Lightning in 6. They'll find a way to steal one of the first 3 games in New York, whether it's game 1, game 2, or game 5. Vasilevsky is 17-0 after a loss. So they just need to find one at home at the New York, hold home ice. I expect everyone will be doing that. There'll be some sharp guys that will take Rangers plus a game and a half, hoping that they get it to a game 7 or 6 there. But I think, hey, hats off to the Rangers.
Yeah.
They stole game 6. They stole game 7. I have it when I was with the Book and Bostonian versus the Book with Matt and Dave. We talked about it. He was the one guy that could find a way to stop Carolina at home, and it took them to the 7th game, but they did it. They jumped out early. They didn't look back. You think about it this way. This week alone in sports, we got the Eastern and Western Conference Finals in hockey.
Mm-hmm.
We got the NBA championship. We got the Memorial in golf, and people that are not familiar, that's Jack's house. That's Mr. Nicklaus's house. So it's a special tournament for all PGA fans. 1 week away from the Belmont. We're just heating up. We're just moving along, my brother.
Yeah, I can't wait. And then what is it? 2 weeks away from another major in your neck of the woods, if I'm not mistaken, correct? Yes, sir.
At Brookline, the U.S. Open, and I'm torn. I was there for the Ryder Cup back in the early 90s, I think it was. I saw a young Tiger Woods, a young Sergio. I saw a lot of golfers. I was there for Tuesday, the practice round, and Friday, the first day. That was obviously the tournament where you could hear Justin Leonard from here to Cape Cod when he hits the 60-footer to win it. I haven't decided. The prices are outrageous. I have some friends with tickets. I might just tiptoe up there for a practice round, walk the course, get some good pictures, and then just watch it from home. But it would be nice to be there. It's just, you know what? When you're live at a golf tournament and it's 90, 95 degrees, about the 4th, 5th hour, you're saying to yourself, man, it would have been a lot easier to sit on the couch at home.
And nice, with a nice ice cold anything, and and some air conditioning. Yeah, my brother and I were interested in going to a Ryder Cup when it was in I think it was 2020, but obviously it got pushed back, so we didn't get to go to that one. It was up in Wisconsin, and we thought about going to that one, and then I missed out. My family went to a PGA championship in Wisconsin in 2014, and they left me behind in that one because I was in college. So, nonetheless, I'm excited as far as the old golf tournament is concerned. I was off this past week with it, but I'll be back with my golf blog for the Memorial Tournament. Should be coming out this afternoon.
All righty. So with that, always remember this: if you are wagering or investing today, tomorrow, please do it responsibly. If you do have a problem, pick up the phone. There's an 800 number available. Ask for help. Why? Myself and Riley care. We want to see you here today, tomorrow, next week, next month, through 2022 and beyond. From myself, Jeff Dawson at EC Sports Invest, from the one and only Riley Magnuson at Riley_Magnuson, the one. We wish everyone a blessed day. Summer and June is coming tomorrow. Have a day, cash some tickets, and we will see you soon.